Hey guys, Cooling back here with another review. Today I'm doing the third movie in the Resident Evil franchise, Extinction. Released in 2007 and stars Mila Jovovich, Ali Larter, and Oded Fair, and directed by Russell McCauley. Now, this was the last decent movie in this franchise for me. The quality really dips after this one. So Extinction takes place years after the Raccoon City disaster, and the virus has continued to spread throughout the whole world, turning forests and deserts and drying up brooks and rivers. Alice soon joins up with a caravan of survivors as they make their way through the Nevada desert, eventually settling on a journey to Alaska, where it is presumed that the virus hasn't even reached yet. So right away for me, the biggest standout of this movie is the location, the setting, the desert. It gives you a very Mad Max style. It's almost like a wasteland, and it really separates this movie from the other five in the franchise and keeps the story really fresh. There's also a scene in where they go to Las Vegas, and it actually looks really great. You have all the little casinos buried under the sand, and probably the best cinematography in the whole franchise. Now we have to talk about the epic crow scene. Now this scene is the coolest scene in possibly the whole franchise, and it's really a standout in the series for sure. It's really a callback to the video games. I remember playing Resident Evil 2 now on 64, and there was this jump scare I wasn't expecting going down the hall, and these crows bust right through the window and try attacking you. And it's also an homage to Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, obviously. That's a classic. The whole scene is intense, with the crows pecking at the people's faces and everything, taking a few of them out. They become infected by eating the dead bodies throughout the wasteland, and that's where Alice first meets up with the caravan crew, where they're all getting attacked by the crows, and she uses her powers to shoot fire up into the sky and burn them all. And it's a really cool scene where the camera's spinning around her, and all the birds are catching fire and crows and coming down. It's really epic. The characters are also really well made in this one. They're more like real people instead of caricatures, like in a lot of the other ones where they're all over the top. It allows for the viewer to really connect with the characters on a deeper level, rather than just be your stereotypical over the top heroes, like this series eventually becomes. We got Ali Larter from Final Destination fame come in. She plays Claire Redfield in this one, who is essentially the leader of the crew. You can tell she really cares about her people and tries to keep them safe, and trying to feed them, trying to keep them sheltered and keep them away from the outbreak, the zombie outbreak. We also get Oded Fair, who returns playing Carlos, and we get TJ Wade's back into this movie too. Now I really enjoyed TJ Wade in Apocalypse, but this one, man, isn't he an asshole? He's one of those guys who gets bit and doesn't tell anybody, risks the whole crew just for his own selfishness. He jeopardizes everything just to keep himself alive a little bit longer, when ultimately he knows he's going to die too. Now let's get into the main character, Alice. Now her powers have been ever growing ever since the last film. Her telekinesis is out of control. She can even fry circuit breakers up in space on satellites, the ones that Umbrella was trying to use to control her. Which brings me right back to the ignorance of Umbrella and their stupidity. They foolishly just let Alice go at the end of Apocalypse, knowing how powerful she is and how powerful she may become. Especially after bonding with the T-virus, of course. I guess their plan was to track her and then control her when they want, but why not just shut her off right away when she was trying to leave the facility? It just doesn't make any sense. Now the zombies are really well made in this movie, the best in the whole series as well. You don't get the shitty CGI mixed with them, and you don't get the blurry cam like in part 2. It's actually straightforward makeup. It's reminiscent of like the newer like Walking Dead TV show. It almost looks like that type of makeup. And you even get these super zombies, which is like an homage to Day of the Dead, where they're experimenting on them, trying to make them smarter and get them into the workforce, where they say they can't make them smart, but they can get them to do basic things. And then we have Dr. Isaacs. He was the dumbass that let Alice go in the last film, and now he's crying to his superior Albert Wesker to let him finish the project, and he has to capture Alice back to do so, because he needs her blood, because it's pure or whatever. And He needs her so she can fix up his super zombies, which he's trying to get on the workforce. Which ultimately he just turns into his own army of zombie soldiers, pretty much, in these suits. But eventually he gets bit by one of the zombies himself and starts to mutate, almost like the Nemesis, but in a different direction, because it was a different type of infection. He takes on a new form while still being able to keep some of his motor skills, like talking and that, but he can regenerate too. His tissue, once he gets sliced, it just reconnects again, so he made him very powerful, but still no match for Alice. In the end, Alice breaks into his underwhelming security facility, an entrance to another underground facility where his lab was, and it's just a chain link fence around this little cabin going underground. And there's thousands upon thousands of zombies around. Like, your Umbrella, you're supposed to be the most powerful corporation in the world. Wouldn't you come up with better security than that? Fucking dumbass. And all of these poor decisions that Umbrella keeps making over and over again in every film starts to make you question, like, how did they become the most powerful company in the world, or be able to control everybody? It's like they're just really stupid to me. So in the end, I really appreciate the location and the setting of this, giving it that Mad Max feel. I love the characters for the most part, and the effects were top notch. There's definitely a few plot issues and a questionable finale, really, for me anyway. But overall, this was a decent sequel in the series. I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10, and it's going to be the last positive rating I give any movie in this franchise, I guarantee that. How do you rank this movie or franchise in general? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching.